A Southwest airline passenger assaulted a flight attendant. Hello and welcome to another edition of Shine 365, where our job is to help you lead a better life. Today's story is a bit disturbing. We're reviewing an article by the Washington Post entitled, "A Southwest Passenger Was Filmed Punching a Flight Attendant. She was charged with 2 felonies," by Julian Mark. And we do have the video of this event embedded in this article. As a Southwest flight was making its final descent into San Diego, one passenger did what she was not supposed to do. She pulled down her tray table and unbuckled her seatbelt. After the flight attendant reminded her to stow away her tray table, buckle her seatbelt, and wear her mask properly, the woman became defiant, according to a federal complaint. She pushed the flight attendant, grabbed her hair, and punched her in the face. And now we're going to take a look at this video, and I want to remind the viewers that this is disturbing. As you can see from that video, the flight attendant was injured. Fortunately, there was a passenger on board who jumped up and broke up the fight. The flight attendant, who sustained some injuries, did end up going to the hospital afterwards, and the person who punched her was taken into custody. Airline travel is difficult even in the best of times, but now it is even more difficult. We're forced into confinement with other people in very small seats for a set amount of time. It can be very difficult. So how can we help ourselves to get through these things without acts of violence? Let's explore this article by Inc. magazine. "This small shift in your thinking will make all the difference." It's by Deborah Roberts. When nothing seems to be going right, focus on what matters most. Our perspective influences our reactions. It can lead us to respond poorly in a given situation. And when we react negatively to a person or a situation, like for instance, being confined in the back of an airplane for a number of hours with a mask and tight situation and stress from COVID, this is a tense situation for everyone. The flight attendants doing their job have a hard time. The people in their seats have a hard time. It's very stressful for everyone. What can we do to relieve some of the stress and the anger that is building up in people nowadays? When we react negatively to a person or a situation, like being stuck in a plane, it's often because our perspective was skewed by what we believe to be true at the moment. And as our frustration increases, we react emotionally. The woman sitting was very upset with the flight attendant. The flight attendant was upset with the woman sitting, and it just escalated to the point where there was physical violence. If this person is thinking, "This plane ride stinks, I hate that I have to sit in a tiny seat on a crowded plane," even though she may love to visit different places, she hates flying. Notice that the speaker is turned off. They were behaving in a manner that I refer to as being turned away from the other person or turned away from the situation. When we turn away, we give ourselves permission not to care, and we focus on complaining instead of trying to find a solution. While we all turn away to some extent when we are frustrated, the problem is if we're focusing only on the negatives. And if we're only focusing on the negatives, that's very unhelpful. It can ruin our day, and it can ruin other people's day. It colors our viewpoints and affects our interactions and our performance. The longer we stay in that state, the more we focus on ourselves, and we become less interested in connecting with other people, the more we will get angry. It's not healthy to stay in that state if we're focusing only on ourselves and we're becoming less interested in connecting with others. In that state, we are more invested in our feelings of frustration, anger, sadness, or exhaustion. And because of this, we stay disconnected from those around us. We are not understanding that, yes, everyone is stuck in the same position, but it's only for a certain amount of time, and the plane will land, and people will get off, and things will go back to normal. You'll be able to get off of the crowded plane, and things will change. When you're going into yourself and you're not thinking of the bigger picture, it becomes very frustrating. Surprisingly, the resolution for regaining a more positive outlook can be quick. It requires a slight shift in your thinking, something that's free and within your control. Change your focus and change your perspective. The key to getting out of any downward spiral is shifting your thinking and making a conscious decision to turn towards the person or situation that you find frustrating. This shift in thinking can help you accept a crummy plane ride so it doesn't ruin your day or other people's day either. When we look to something bigger than ourselves as motivation to change our own perspective and shift our own thinking, it makes it easier for us to turn towards the person or situation that we once found so frustrating. On the plane that day, it was very difficult. People are unnerved right now. Flight attendants have a very stressful job, so everyone was under a lot of stress. The key was to look at the bigger picture. Understand the bigger picture. If we can just get through this tough point and consider other people's feelings and emotions besides our own, we can get through this tough situation and come out the other side stronger and better. Change your outlook, change your energy, make the situation lighter, perhaps better, and at the very least tolerable. It's worth the shift. We can all learn from difficult situations and come out better because of them. Please give the podcast a thumbs up. And as always, we look forward to seeing you next time on Shine 365.